find a more creative way to get around it. Because that's all indie comics are, super creative. Go ahead. Sorry.
Hello, everyone. Sorry, hey. Randy's ranting again.
Yeah, you can tell my face is red. I get on a soapbox.
We are. It's Tuesday, and we are almost ready to hit 1,000 subscribers on Indie Vote LiveWire. Really excited about that. Indie Princess has some technical difficulties, but she's getting it together right now. She's got some new podcasting equipment. Or new streaming equipment, I should say. And she is
she's probably doing exactly what her icon is doing.
Yeah. Mary Machine Gun, we got to get you in here. Max, where is your... Oh, Max didn't get his invite, did he?
Oh, Max? Sure. Max is in?
Mm-hmm. I'll make sure Max gets it.
Oh, okay.
1 second, Max. Because he's supposed to be here. Where is Max? Where is Max? I'll find him.
You want me to get him?
I got it. I can...
You got him?
Yeah.
All right.
All right. There we go. Max, get in here. Yeah, it's been a very busy week. I just got back from shopping, getting some new things, some new equipment. Oh, there you go. There's Max joining us.
There he comes.
Hello, Max.
What's up?
Yeah, we've got as you guys know, Indie Volt will be a guest at the upcoming Grand Rapids Comic-Con. Got to get a card for that. Gonna be doing some interviews, some live interviews right from the show. Gonna be there with some Indie Volt merch.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll be broadcasting Sunday Funnies from there too.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. And hell, hashtag 1,000. There we go. Yeah, Indie Volt 1,000, not 1,000 episodes. But 1,000 subs. Come on in.
If you haven't subscribed over on YouTube yet, please go over there and do that. And hit the like button while you're there. Hit that bell for notifications. So we are going to be passing that 1,000 mark soon, just so we can be monetized and have to worry about what we're talking about.
Yeah,
you actually care.
Yeah. We'll actually have to care.
Can't wait to start getting those super chats so that Varian can actually afford the broadband.
Oh, that bandwidth is Well, in fact, I was in
the bandwidth, yeah.
I was in Best Buy today, and they have salesmen in there, and the guy stopped me. He says, "Hey, man, how much? What are you doing? What are you doing for cable?" And I told him, and I don't think he. Sometimes they're so determined to sell you on something, they're not listening, right? Mm-hmm. I said to him, I said, "Well, I have business internet in my home. Yeah, I can get you a cheaper price. Come on, talk to me. I mean, I'm already Xfinity. I'm already Comcast. Yeah, but I can get you a better price. I know I can. And he gets me over there. He's like, he gets my address and everything. He's like, "Oh, you have business. I can't do anything with that." I'm like, "I just told you that like 20 minutes ago." But the cool thing about the business internet is that it allows me to get a lot of speed. We really can stream quite a bit unless it's a rough day. There are problems here and there. But really, like, the service has been really good. I think I get speeds up to 2 gigs. And any Princess, can you hear us now? Yeah. And look at the lights. Ooh, how nice! Lights on her nice headphones now. But yeah, it's really weird that they tried to offer me all this other stuff. And so anyway, but the reason why I was there is because I was buying new streaming stuff for the shows. Because if we got to stream from a Comic-Con, I want to make sure we can do it professionally.
Oh, yeah.
As professionally as possible. Yeah. So yeah, got to show up and go big. So yeah, should I run the intro?
You should run the intro.
All right, here we go. We'll do the intro and come back and introduce ourselves. Hang tight with us. Here we go.
The following program contains violence, disturbing imagery, nudity, and, oh my God, why are you even watching this? Just run away. This shit is going to give you nightmares. For real. The program is rated TV MA NSFW OMFG GAF TTV BYGAS. Why are you still here? Seriously, don't watch this. We can't warn you strongly enough. Do you need a doctor of some kind? What is the matter with you?
Hello, everyone. How are you? It's Tuesday, so it must be time for Indie Vote Livewire, comics' most educated panel of nitwits. We're here. I am your host, the founder of Indie Vote Media, the Silver Spoon Coon, the well-spoken token, Varian Grant. How's everybody out there? That's me. That's right. That's right. Been making comics since 2008. I'm a comic book creator, publisher, artist, reluctant taxpayer, father, geek, husband, gamer, not necessarily in that order. And I'm here. Huh? Yeah, your child's favorite artist, aka Mama, there goes that man again, aka News at 11. That's me, all those names. And happy to be here today. Happy to be alive. It's a wonderful day. It's wonderful Tuesday night. I'm joined as always by the beautiful Indie Princess. Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
They're quite out there today. They're getting those 1,000 subs. They look like two. They look like two Zeppelins in a flash finish.
Oh, there's 10 more subs right there.
They look. I said they look like two Zeppelins in a flash finish. It's geez, put a shirt on, will you? Speaking of shirts, you can buy shirts at indievote.com at the Vote Shop. You can buy shirts. We got them. You send Indie Princess a shirt. Quit sending her shoes. Send her shirts.
It was a perfect segue.
Yeah. The woman's hurting for shirts.
No, I got new shoes.
Yeah. New blue shoes.
They're snakeskin.
Shoe cam
You're going to say that snakeskin there?
has returned.
Man.
Thanks to Pixel Trader and Indicron for
Yeah.
that.
And of course, Mr. Zimmerman. Hello.
Hey, hello. How are you? Hey, everybody. I am Randy Zimmerman. I'm a longtime independent alternative comics producer, creator, whatever, everything, actually. Been doing this for a long, long time, many decades. And right now I am working very hard on bringing Arrow Comics 4.0 back to retailers exclusively through Liberty Entertainment Distributors. Going to be doing 4 titles a month for the retailers to make money, and looking forward to get that out there for them. Liberty is a very unique distribution idea that Varian has devised that we're very happy with, or I'm very happy with, enough to start offering regular product through him for the retailers in the hopes that everybody makes a little money. So take a look, ledg.us.
Thank you. Yeah, it's really exciting.
Money.
Money.
Very
That's why we're here. It's a business. Come on.
Yes.
To make money putting smiles on people's faces. Sorry, Very.
Oh, it's okay. I wanted to grab something and it's off camera, so I have to.
Creators Outlet says, put a shirt on, you'll lose subs.
Yeah, you just got a point. I mean,
Everythinger, yes, Connery, everythinger.
I joked about it earlier, but
I've done everything in the direct market that you can imagine.
So
retailed for over a decade. Met my wife while I was retailing.
And
ran conventions for 10 years. Go ahead. Sorry.
Luke and Ethan have hurt my feelings with their figures. So I spared no expense, Randy. We spared no expense making sure that these Indie Volt action figures.
Oh, jeez.
would be great.
I saw that on Facebook.
Yeah. We spent no expense. There we go. We spent no expense either.
I had to show
That
it.
was-
I had to show it to Monica. It was hilarious.
That was pretty great looking. Yeah, I saw that was.
Yeah, there he is. There he is. There's a Randy. That's not gonna.
Needs glasses and that and my hat. Yeah, it's right
Right.
there.
That's the
What's going on
accessory
there?
kit.
It's almost right up in the camera too. There we
Yeah.
are.
That's the accessory kit. You got to buy that separate.
There
Yeah,
you go.
yeah.
Good
Yeah,
idea.
build a
Good
Randy.
idea.
Just the,
Thanks,
you,
Max.
Ray, you can get the little jacket here. I'm gonna keep building Randy. Don't worry. I'm gonna keep building them. And
Is that the Randy Zimmerman Build-A-Figure?
yeah.
Do you,
You have to,
you have to buy the rest of the Indie Volt crew to get all the body parts?
yeah. You know, really, it was the only way we can get people to buy a Brandon.
Build
So,
them. Yeah.
you know, we figured the only way you're gonna buy Brandon is if we, you know, put Randy's legs with him. So that's what we did. No, that figure is actually, believe it or not, that's a WWE Paul Ellering figure. And I'm like, Paul Ellering doesn't look like Randy. But that figure looks like Randy. So I'm gonna work with some people and see if I can't get
Yeah, there's a whole ton of people that work on custom figures like that do it just for fun. One of my buddy's one of them. He owns a local comic shop here, and he builds figures just for fun.
does he?
Does a lot of kit bashing, but he also does like actual forming the figures and 3D printing stuff and
Cool.
doing all sorts of shit.
I will let you guys introduce yourselves, I promise, but I want to show you guys because I want everyone to understand that figure does not look like Paul Ellering. I mean, I guess I can see where they went for Paul Ellering at. Let me share my screen. Here it is. Let me see.
They decided to make him look more like Jesse Ventura.
Well,
Well-
maybe they never did that real scan of him. Did the package say that they did the real scan?
I think all their figures supposed to be real scan now.
Yeah, but then that person would have had to have gone in and actually been scanned. So I wonder if because
Does he look like Randy?
Where'd
I
you get that
guess.
picture of me?
See, I
That I don't
I'm
even
kinda
own a
s-
tuxedo.
can kind of see it. Maybe it's the goatee.
did you ever see Ellering back in the day? He was pretty yoked.
Yeah.
I think he had a back issue or something like that, and that's why he became a manager. So
I do like the shades.
I'm sorry. I've let us get off track. But Max, introduce yourself. I'm sorry.
Oh, hey, I'm Max DeVille, owner of Atrocity Press. We put out comic books such as Mary Machine Gun and Neo Tokyo, The Truth is a Virus. We've got more titles coming up. One more at the end of this year called Human Hunters, about vampires and werewolves that fight bad people instead of the other way around.
And John.
I am John Anthony Chihak Soltero, comic book creator with probably the longest name in the business, maybe. I don't know. I create a book called The Bubba Patrol, write and do the art chores on it. And it's pretty much the only project I'm working on right now. It's a book about my dogs as superheroes. And it's kind of just the legacy that I've created for them because, they're my little superheroes. So.
You got to have fun with it.
Oh yeah, and it feels like it's just thinking about it. It's a throwback to the Silver Age, which is kind of appropriate with the current issue I'm working on, issue 4. So it's got a Avengers 4 homage, which is classic Silver Age imagery. So
Nice.
That's cool. Yeah, these we're going to talk about that book today. We're going to take a look at it. Also, hi,
Hey, Rogerio.
Rogerio.
Yeah, how's it going? He's glad to have him here too. He's
Yeah.
fantastic artist when he'll turn. We'll also know that when I think we should flash this whenever Randy finds something dubious on the site or wherever we talk about something dubious, we'll flash this.
you know it'd be better if you can get an image of Ellering with the Rocco puppet.
Yeah. I'll turn me into the Rocco puppet.
All right.
I'll turn me into the Rocco puppet. That's what they're building. That's what you build Ellering and the Rocco puppet. right now.
Yeah,
That's what that's
it's.
the current Build-A-Figure.
I saw that when I went to Target the other day, and
Current Build-A-Figure.
I saw that when I went to Target the other day, and I was
Yeah.
just like, why are you promoting one of the worst? I mean, not the worst, but one of the worst ideas. In like, you took the Road Warriors and you effectively neutered them by giving them a freaking a ventriloquist dummy that kind of looked like Eric Bischoff.
What they've done is what I figured out is this: WWE is hiring Marvel writers, and and I remember looking at the writing team over at WWE once, and I was like, "This is crazy. This is ridiculous." And a friend of mine works there. A couple of friends of mine have worked there, but
all girls showing off their milkshakes.
one had told me, he says, "Darren, you got a great mind for wrestling. You ought to apply as a writer." And I'm like, "Nah." Nope. Because I learned from another person that worked there. They said they don't want you working there if you're a wrestling fan. In the back,
Nope.
They don't want you as a writer. They don't want you working. They don't want you to know anything about the history because you'll become hung up on that, and you'll get lost in the minutia of shit that makes sense.
And they certainly don't want you working there if you know anything about like technical live streaming, because apparently Money on the Bank was a disaster on Peacock.
Yeah. Well, they list. You know what? To be fair, they had 70 weeks off. They had 70 weeks off with no fans. They probably forgot how to film a live event.
I thought it was because because I mean, I don't watch it anymore, but I thought it was because actually like the feed went out or something like that.
Yeah. That's they could blame NBC. They could blame NBC for that. They should.
Oh,
yeah. Guys, I want to ask. Oh, what?
Well, they hired that one comedian who either truthfully said she knew nothing about wrestling, and then got blasted for it, and then they hired Freddie Prinze Jr.
Well, he actually used to write for them.
Yeah, I think he said he taught like promo classes or something like that.
Yeah, he used to work for them. I got a question from IndieWire Radio for you guys, and this was from last week, and I wanted to ask it, but I held off because it was at the end of the show, and this is important for indie comics, and it is this. And hear me out, guys. This is from a guy named Clinton, and Clinton would like to know why is it, and Randy, this is a good question for you, and I think Max will be able to answer this. Why is it that print-on-demand printers charge so much? He says they have the same exact equipment as other printers, including offset printers, yet they charge more. I don't understand why I have to pay almost 3 times for 1,000 copies of a book from a on-demand printer than I would using an offset printer. And that's from Clinton. Thanks for writing in, by the way, Clinton.
Well, it's in the word there, on demand. It's convenience. You're paying for convenience.
I like that. That's short and sweet. I don't think the equipment is the same though.
I don't think it is either, because they use completely different printers for digital printing than they do for 4:4 printing and all that. So it's not the same. But I mean, even if they did have everything, it'd be equal. You'd still be paying more for on-demand printing.
They do the same thing, but the printers are different.
Yeah.
The same task. I mean, the same outcome. They're going to print your book, but Randy, back in the old days,
back in the day,
back before NOM.
Yeah. You told me that they used to have to keep the printers wet, so they would
remember it well.
So they would just print a book. Here, give me your shit. We don't care. Just to keep the printers running, just to keep them wet.
That was the old days. So,
right.
Technology has grown a lot.
So is there a reason why a printer won't print? Excuse me, like a printer. I don't want to say any of the printers, but an on-demand printer will not print and try to match the prices of a printer. Like, for instance, I mean, I think that cat's out of the bag in a bit. You're printing, and you're printing quite a couple of. You're printing a big bundle of books.
Mm-hmm.
You've been given a price, which was because and so why can't a printer match, on-demand printer, and there are a lot of them, match that price you got?
Well, Clinton's mistaken about having the same equipment. The print place might have the exact same machines as they do, but there's a huge difference between offset and print on demand. And everything goes into that setup cost. When you're offset printing, you have to set up the plates on an incredibly large machine that usually runs off of very large rolls of paper or big sheets of paper that are printed in either one color or four color, and then folded and saddle stitched or stapled or bound or whatever, and sent on their way. But that system is geared for thousands of books. You need to order thousands and thousands of books in order to make it worth your while, and your per unit cost drops tremendously with the more that you get. But print on demand is, most of the time, they're really running off of what you would look at and think is a glorified Xerox machine, where they take your print file and there's software that'll automatically convert it into the machine, and it'll go through and print just one copy if it wants to, and it does it usually one at a time all the way through, or they'll print a skein, which is part of the binding on your book all at once, or two or three at once. It's really geared for that one or two piece book. If you're printing a book more than 1,000 or so of that, you really need to look into getting that offset printed, because your per unit cost will drop down. There's a large setup fee in order, and it's rough to get it set up and get it running right. So a lot of your printers won't even look at an offset print job for under 4,000 pieces on a run. In fact, they would prefer 10,000 or more, because usually by the time that they get that everything lined up correctly and everything looks good, if they're only printing 1,000, they're sitting there with a stopwatch and running for maybe 5 minutes after doing hours of setup, probably a couple hours, depending upon how difficult your colors are, and having to make sure everything hits right. They're running it for like 5 minutes and then shutting it right off again. They're done.
Yeah.
Where with a print on demand, it'll run through like a regular Xerox and print it all out and put it in a skein and probably fold it. Some machines even fold it and set up with saddle stitch. Some are a complete book. You put the file in, you hit the right button, and the paper starts rolling through, collates, sets up, folds, staples, and ships it right out. So
yeah, those Hewlett Packards, they cost like $380,000, but they can do all that, and it's nice.
Yeah, they're not cheap machines. No.
I got offered a printer, and I was like, I make a really huge one, like for printing comics. And the guy was like, yeah, we could do it. He offered me like a payment plan on it, and I'm like, I think I talked to you about it, Randy, and you were like, that machine breaks, you're going to be out of money. You're going to have to fly someone in, and they're going to have to work on it. Now.
Oh, and you'll fly somebody in that's going to be working at about 150 to 250 an hour.
Yeah.
Plus, you have to set them up in a hotel room. Plus, give them a stipend for food. So you're out. You're out thousands of dollars.
Then you got to pay for the parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when I worked at General Motors, and we got these new machines, and they were very, very nice machines. It made my job a lot easier. But one day the machines broke down. Well, we had the machines for like 2 weeks, and they broke down. And they said, "Okay, everyone sit down." They called the engineers down. The engineers come down. They're scratching their heads. They're pushing buttons, hooking up laptops. And at this point, we're sitting down, and we're still getting paid. I'm sitting at my little table, and I break out my drawing tablet. My actual tablet of paper at this point, and I'm drawing, and I'm looking at these guys, and I'm like, let me know when you guys are ready. Yeah, just have a seat. We'll let you know. And then the foreman came over and says, "Hey, could you do some sweeping while we wait for the machine to start back up?" And I said, I'm not a janitor. That's not my job. I flashed that union card. Like, no, that's not my sweeping isn't my job. So I'm gonna keep sitting here and drawing and reading this magazine that I got while they hooked the machine up. 5 hours later, I was still sitting. And do you know that they had they made me work overtime, doing nothing I sat there on my butt for hours. I played on my phone. This went on for 2 weeks of me just sitting there while they worked the machine. And the reason is they had to fly some guys out. They flew. But the problem is the machines were made in Germany. The software to run them was programmed in Japan. So they had to fly techs out from all over the world to come sit at the plant and fix those machines while I sat there for weeks making money on my butt. I'm like, this is the easiest $27 an hour I ever made. I'm just gonna sit here.
To me.
Yeah. It was
I'll take that type of job.
It was weird too because they're like, "Hey, you want to work overtime?" Well, the first overtime is mandatory. You have to work it. You have to. You can't say no. The second and third overtime, so working at 4 a.m, that's mandatory. But I'm like, you know what? The machines aren't going to start back up. So yeah, I'll sit. So I'll sit here to 4:30 in the morning. Go ahead. Fun times. Mm-hmm. Speaking of fun times, guys, and I'm pretty sure John will love this one. This one is brought to us by the Indie Princess. Indie Princess noticed she put in an order for some of her stuff, and she was checking, and she noticed, and Randy and I found out this week as well. Her printing bill is up $300 extra.
Wow.
Oh, from when you originally got your estimate? Yeah.
That's right. Because the price of paper is up, ladies and gentlemen. The price of paper is up, which means those books you were printing now might cost a little bit more unless your quote isn't set in stone. $300 from Miss Lola's books, $300 extra.
That's ridiculous.
Well, there's always that little clause, but between the time you got your estimate and now, paper costs have jumped up way up, just like lumber.
It shouldn't. The shit grows on trees.
The shit is trees.
I know.
It's all in the processing and stuff. Yeah, I know I'm feeling it too. Yeah.
John, I want to ask you, man. What do you think? Paper's up. I mean, it's funny. Paper, which our money's made out of, by the way, is up. It's more expensive. What do we do?
Paper, money's made out of cloth, actually.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but how many people use cash anymore? It's all ones and zeros now. So like,
I do sometimes.
I mean, I do too. But I mean, I paid for some comics this weekend with actual paper money or cloth money, as it were. Yeah, no. So like, I don't know what to say to that because I've been printing on an offset printer for the past since 2019. So for 2 years now. But I've been going through like a program that jumps on the back of other projects. So the cost is very minimal. However, that particular program is on hiatus right now because of, I'm not sure why, but they haven't been making their schedules for anything for delivery. So the company that runs that program said, sorry, we're on hiatus, which in a way I respect because then I could send my book out and wait a year for it to come back. So I found a different printer that's going to print offset and going to print on newsprint. And the per unit price is definitely higher, but they like the difference between 500 copies and 1,000 copies is like $200. So I'm like, well, why not just get the 1,000 copies and invest a little bit extra, which is essentially why I'm running the second Kickstarter or the second Indiegogo, because the money I raised through my Facebook campaign would have been enough for the initial printer, but because that's not working, that's Morris of Lady T Comic Keys. Really, really good people. They do buy it now, claim sales. It's that they're really awesome people. But yeah, I don't know if it's just what they charge, because when I told them like what I was looking to print, they were like, we don't usually do print runs that small. And I'm like, okay, well, just, like tell me and we'll see if it's feasible. Otherwise I might have to go on demand, and I really don't want to. Yeah. It'd be faster, but it's not going to be the quality and the outcome that I want. It's not going to be the product that I'm seeking. So So sometimes you gotta. That was the thing. I had a friend, and he's become my colorist for this issue. He helped with inks on the last issue, and he was like, he didn't understand the concept that like I send the files out, and then I just wait until like they let me know. And he was just like, well, it's been a month. Why aren't the books ready? And I'm like, dude, that's not how it works. Like,
Right,
I don't
these
send them
guys-
out and get them a week later. So
Right. Now, I has that ever, because like for me, I remember when my first comic was printed through Comics Express. I think that was the name of it, Comics Express, and they didn't. I remember getting the books printed, and it was kind of like hurry up and wait at that point. Like, I sent the money, I uploaded the pages. They were back and forth for me. I sent that payment. I sent that payment, and it was like, okay, radio silence. And I remember getting really scared because I'm like, oh man, we got a con coming up, and I missed 2 cons. I had 2 cons with no product because they don't communicate with you about when you can expect a book.
yeah,
And I remember finally they showed up. I had an office, and the young lady who was my secretary, she called me. She says, "You have a package from Comics Express," and I'm like, "It's the books." And I hurriedly get there. I think you had to order like 150 copies or something like that, and that's all you had to order. It's print on demand, and I quickly got that. I mean, that was they were expensive. I talked about how foolish I was with my first company. My pricing and everything a while ago,
but that's the thing. Like,
Mhm.
it's all a learning experience. I don't think there's not really anything out there. At least, I mean, you said you started in 08. I mean, back then there weren't these like online sessions and tutorials that were like teaching you how to do it and what to do. My first book was printed because I had a friend, the husband of a friend who worked at FedEx office,
Mhm.
and he basically printed my books at $1 a piece, but I file sized them completely wrong. So he just did the best he could, and these were like books that would not fit in your standard comic book box. You had to use like an 8.5 by 11-inch magazine size box, and you had to use the magazine sleeves and stuff like that. And it was a nightmare. And I mean, all those first books were terrible anyways, but I mean, it's just one of those things where like I learned as I went, and I'm still learning things now, especially with doing things full color and learning like bleeds. And so the offset trim size is different than the on-demand trim size for a full bleed, and so having to reshrink those, and then so like my variant cover editions are tiny bit difference in terms of like how I trim them than like the offset ones. So I mean, it is what it is, but I mean, most people have been pretty happy with it. So
yeah, I remember I do like printers that will fess up if they mess up something. I had that happen. I had a printer, they messed up something, and they were like, they brought it to me, and I'm like, oh man, I can't say all that. They ended up giving me the messed up copies too. So there was some messed up copies of the book that they were still readable, still actually sellable. The problem was there was a border around the cover.
So
Right.
it didn't bleed out right. Yeah.
Border cover edition.
Yeah. And that's why I tell people, like, hey, maybe that cover will be the one that shows up one day, and it'll be the one that's the worth more. So I mean, Max, are you worried about that, man? I mean, you print a lot of books. Are you worried that by the time, because I mean, we know paper cost is eventually going to come back down?
Yeah. It's just the price of doing business. Paper costs go up.
Mm-hmm.
Things happen. I'll just have to adjust for my cost if it does. Other than that, there's not much I can do about it. I mean, I could try to go to a different printer, but they're going to cost just as much because paper prices have gone up.
Right. Right.
Well,
It's kind of yeah.
the other thing with the pandemic is it's slowed down a bunch of stuff. Like, I mean, my car is in the shop right now because I got in an accident a couple weeks back, and they were like, "Oh yeah, it'll be like 5 or 6 days," and I'm like, "Why does it take that long to like, change out a fender?" But they have to order the parts, and the parts might be on back order, and they're like, pandemic did a bunch of this stuff where it's slowing things down, and so it may not even just be that there's like the supply and demand for the paper, but there may not be as many people running the machines or maintaining the machines or
Delivery. I mean, delivery is down, and don't forget, people are still getting paid to sit at home.
Yeah.
In a lot of places. So, until the workforce is back, I mean, it's gonna be rough. Question from Indie Vote Radio here, and this is another good one that we kind of touched on a couple weeks ago. No, actually, I touched on it on JD show, but this is from Carlos, and he says, I am uncomfortable speaking to people online about my art. I don't have a problem doing a quiet draw stream, which I usually edit to soft listening or easy listening music, but having to go on shows and sell my comic seems more like selling myself or my personality to fans rather than my work. I believe that the days of letting your work speak for itself may be well behind us. That's from Carlos. That's kind of tough. I think it's the days. Yeah.
That's a great point. I was hanging out with the Livid Comics guys on Friday, and Ruggiero was, when I was telling my story about like why I'm doing this particular book and my past history and everything, he was like, "That's it right there." Like, even though you don't want to like monetize on why you're doing this, or the loss of your dogs that propels you forward to make this book. He goes, especially with crowdfunding, people aren't just buying your book. They are looking at your history. They are looking at your story. They want something intrinsic in the book itself, in the work. Somebody can turn out an amazing looking book, but if they can't present it in that manner, then you're toast. It's comparable. I mean, I know earlier we were talking about wrestling, but I think wrestling and comics have like a bunch of formula that works together. And it's not even so much about how well you perform in the ring anymore. It's about your look. It's about how well you speak on the mic. It's about your package and your presentation. Like, your work rate doesn't really matter anymore. So, but that's not to say that's not the same with comics. Like, if you've got a great personality and your work is also really good, that's awesome. But you can present really well and your work can be kind of like average or even subpar, and you're still going to, pop people for it. I mean, there's plenty of creators out there who maybe aren't my favorite artists, but they sell themselves all the time.
Yeah. I think that that's something we're all learning now, is that we've got to almost become these personalities. Indie Princess there, she brought to my attention the other day that she used to just wave. She never said anything on the first Indie Vote shows. I don't know if you remember that, Randy. She would just do a wave.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Mm-hmm.
And she just basically ran the board. She didn't say much. Occasionally she might say no or okay, but she didn't. She was just there. Now, in fact,
she was just there.
Yeah, in fact, before she wasn't even comfortable coming on camera. She would just be backstage, like in the green room. I say green section in the green room, putting up comments. That's what she did. Now, then she came on screen, and now she, we can't get her to shut up now.
She's getting better at speaking, but that's something, Carlos, you just have to do, is get out there. This is the new conventions. You
Well,
know,
that, yeah.
live streaming is, and you need to get out there and meet your fans. Your fans want to know who you are, especially if they pick up a book and they like it. They want to know who did it.
Yeah. And you've got to be able to speak about it.
Yeah.
Especially because if you want to sell it, people have to know about it. I mean, you could have, and I think I said this before, my memory is not as good as it used to be. You can have the greatest product in the world, but if nobody knows about it, is it really the greatest product in the world? I remember one of the early conventions I did with a friend, and we're sitting at the table, and I would have my, I don't know if you can see it, but I would have my like board propped up at like a 45-degree angle so I could see people walking by, and he was hunched over like this. And like the entire weekend I had to keep like elbowing him and being like, dude, open up your stance. People want to see your face. They want to see what you're drawing and working on. If you close yourself off like that, it's going to hurt. I was really the only one with product, but like, it's going to hurt both of us because you don't look like you want to talk to anybody. You don't look like you have a personality, and he's gotten a lot better about it. I think I haven't really spoken to him in a while, but it's one of those things that you kind of have to break out of that discomfort. Get used to being uncomfortable. Use it. I mean, if you're awkward when you're talking to people, use that. That's a personality trait. You can use that.
That's true.
Yeah, a lot of times you can use it, your foibles in your favor. The transparency is really the key. It's like communicating in any type of relationship. The more honest you are, the more upfront you are, the more attention you're going to get, and the more people are going to want to listen to you and will take stock in your stories. Nothing irritates me more than sitting down and watching a video by somebody who's fake. And you can tell that they're fake, or that hey kids, hey, let's go here. We're going to do this today. Or they're condescending, or oh, hi. Speaking of bowling, let's talk about comics.
That's
Speaking of bowling,
let's talk about comics.
There's nothing worse than a fake personality, but everybody has a personality. You just have to get used to speaking on camera. What are you pointing there for?
That's
personality.
That's your personality right there.
Yeah, there's my personality.
That's my stuff.
One of the other things that I've learned.
So sad.
Oh, you go back on the early Indie Volt things, and you'll see both of us are like, "Hey, how you doing? I'm doing okay. How you doing?" You know, it's like we're talking in closets.
Yeah.
Especially Varian. He was in like this little small room. It's like he had snuck off to a closet. Yeah, you know.
But look at it.
Welcome you all to Indie Volt. Yeah.
Check him out now. He's got the hat on.
Chaos says he saw that.
What, 27 pieces of flair?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's you know what's funny? I was in the same room. I just had the camera in front of me, and I had a different mic, and you started getting better as time goes on. I will tell you this, and I've told
we just jumped 3 subscribers because Lola was pointing at her breasts.
Thank you, Lola. Thank you. Wait till I have 8 TikTok with those puppies.
If she can do the thing where she flexes and makes them move, no, okay. I was gonna say because that might.
Andrea A. Lopez says, agree. I'm a very quiet person / artist, and that is something I need to work on, using my voice, especially if I want to make my comic and be able to sell it. Andrea, I want you to come on Indie Vote. We're going to help bring that out of you. We should. That's what we should be doing, Randy. Bringing new people. We do that anyway. We bring people on all the time.
Yeah, we do that now. That's why we did the Indie Volt Revolt book.
Yeah.
It's so that we can print and show off some of the personalities that we have, the work of some of the personalities that we have here on the show all the time.
And Andrea's really cool, by the way. She is very quiet, but hopefully, we can start bringing that out of her.
It'd be like Lola when Lola first started. She didn't say anything.
Nope, she was quiet. She didn't come on camera at first. Then she started coming on camera. She wouldn't say anything for about a good 4 or 5 months, and then I think finally someone said, Does the girl ever talk? Remember that, Randy? That was the thing.
Yeah.
Does the girl ever talk? Does the girl ever?
No, she just sits there. And,
Yeah.
And we work real hard to make her laugh. So.
Yeah. That's all we did. But now it's Max. How has it been for you? Like, how has it been for you having to be on camera and do these videos?
It's pretty easy. I was an online DJ for an online radio station for 2 years that I owned, called The Grave Radio. That's super old. And we were one of the first radio stations to like integrate live stream cameras into the studio so people could watch while we were doing it. So it's not that big of a deal for me to be on camera and talk to people. And I've been a magician since I was 16 years old. Going up and talking to random strangers is just part of the gig. You know, hey, you want to see something stupid? Watch this.
That sounds like a story of my life.
Yeah.
I didn't tell people about it first, though.
Creating Chaos says learning to talk on camera is not easy, but now I can't shut the fuck up.
My main problem is I don't look at the camera. I don't look at the camera when I'm talking to people. I'm supposed to be, and I don't do it.
My main problem is I tend to look at my own screen instead of
That's
other
what I do.
people's screens. So
Yep.
My main problem is I want to talk like Comic Tom. No, just kidding. Hey, kids, let's see what key books are out today. No, just kidding.
Yeah, okay.
Is that Brian Polito?
I don't know who his last name is. I stumbled across one of my recommendations on YouTube. So,
man, some of the people I'm seeing on YouTube
always talks like this, and he always has emphatic gestures. Anyway,
reminds me of that Matthew Lesko guy. Do you remember him?
Mm-mm.
He used to do he wore the suit with the question marks all over it.
Oh yeah, the guy
he was selling the business guidebook or whatever.
Okay,
like,
yeah.
Yep.
How
to make $1 million in business is
Yeah.
write a book about how to make $1 million and sell it to people. Yeah. That's how
Or
you do it.
it was about funding and grants.
Yeah,
Like this
it's all
book has
about
information
grants.
on like, are you
Government.
somebody who loves to make cookies? Like there's money out there for you. Like, all right.
Yeah, it was
Culinary grants.
You have an altar dedicated to gophers. There's money out there for you.
Speaking of money out there, we are one backer away from opening up our first stretch goal. Looks like.
Nice.
Let me take a look over. Let's go and check that out.
We haven't even promoted your campaign yet.
Yeah, we're gonna take a look at it. Let's see here. Sorry, I am my computer's full of open tabs because I've been out of. You're on Indiegogo, right? A Kickstarter.
I'm on Kickstarter.
Okay.
I'm on Indiegogo, so
Okay.
If you got his, you can pull it up.
I got. There we go. If you guys want to put them in the comments too, I will link them in the chat as well. People need information for me to send my stuff. Okay, sorry. Well, you know I like when I log into Kickstarter and it's like, hey, people need your survey so they can send you your book in 2 years. Here we go. Man Machine Gun issue 2 by Mr. Maxwell. This is
Almost to that stretch goal. We've got 111 backers. 23 days to go. It's the tales of the tape.
Now, let's take a look at it. So yeah, you got. Let me see here. Yeah. So 4,000 is the stretch goal. Is that where it's at?
Yep, that's the first stretch goal. Is $4,000.
Okay. Look at it. A nun showing all that leg. Lord Jesus.
Exactly. It's exactly how they would behave back then.
Yeah, man. I get it. I remember I was told, a long time ago, like this girl said, the problem is that these sexy schoolgirl outfits, they need to be gone. They make people, they turn men into perverts. And that's why you have all these perverts out here going to these young girls because he's sexy. It's all these sexy schoolgirl costumes. And
Is
I
that
said,
what it is?
And I said, yeah. And I remember I looked at it and said, well, how come this hasn't been like an increase in the assault on nuns? And she's like, what am I? Because there's always sexy French maid costumes, sexy nun costumes. What about those? And she was like, she didn't have an answer for me and show me the fuck off. Which is usually what happens.
That's usually what happens. I don't have an answer, so goodbye.
I got told to, and I hate to jump track here, but I got told to fuck off very recently by one of the writers of Black Widow on Twitter. Randy thinks this is funny.
I do.
I simply asked the question.
You asked a simple logic question, and it went.
Yeah,
it just fried her to fuck you.
Here was my problem with the situation. I'm watching Black Widow. I'm watching this movie, and I don't know if you guys have seen it yet, but I'm not going to give any spoilers away. But everyone knows they got in the Red Room. They got a large collection of widows. We learned in the movie 7,000 plus. Okay, Black widows out there.
That's a lot of widows.
Yeah. So, but in this they got a lot of them here in the Red Room, and I'm watching the movie, and something didn't sit right with me. The guards. Why do they have guards guarding the widows who are the most elite killers in the world? I guess next to Dora Milaje, they're the most elite, and they're all men.
All the guards.
All the guards are men, and I'm like, what? Why do they have these dudes in there? What? And then I asked one of the writers, and she was like, "Fuck off, you're blocked." And
you asked a question, so now you have to be blocked.
yeah. Like, why are there men guarding the widows? These women are tough. They can kill any guy. They can kill anybody. Why are they?
Obviously, that was your masculine toxicity showing.
Yeah. But their masculine toxicity was showing first. They had men guarding the Black Widows. Anyway,
I think it was just a bad lapse in logic, and she got mad because you pointed it out to her.
Well, I think it's probably just. I mean, it's one of those things where.
And by the way, I like the movie. I like the movie.
It's a typical thing where you have an asset or multiple assets, and you go to protect them. It doesn't matter what the asset is. Like, have you seen you've seen the picture of Jason Momoa with his bodyguards, right? Yeah. His bodyguards are like 3.5 feet tall, and somebody was like. The meme is like, what is the point of these bodyguards? And I was just like, they take the first 2 hits, and then all of a sudden he's got the trident, and like you're toast.
Yeah.
Besides, like Bruce Lee was not a big dude,
tiny dude.
I don't know. Call me price. Maybe I'm just a little price conscious, but those security guards have to be paid, and if I already got an army of easily controlled drones that I can say, hey, protect yourselves. I'm gonna save myself some money, some union labor, all that crap. Because these guards gotta be taken care of, they gotta be fed.
How do you know that though? Maybe they don't. Maybe they're brainwashed guards too. So like
they could
just all they gotta do is like house them and feed them.
If they got Black Widows, they could like set up all the Black Widows on some sort of rotation for guard duty.
Yeah. I'm trying to be pragmatic here. I'm very practical at the same time. I need Kevin Feige to explain to me.
They could at least bring in all the White Widows from the Blue Room.
No one's getting there. No. No one's getting their hand on the White Widow. No one. Yeah. That's another book. That's another property. Marvel can't do that.
Oh, can't they?
Marvel can't do that. They wouldn't.
But I love the toy manufacturing though within the movie. Like let's give them white costumes. Let's give them all these different things. So like now you can be like Arctic, like deep freeze Batman and like stealth Batman and thermal assault Batman.
Yeah. I never understood. Once again, kid variant, and I don't know. It may have been the Asperger's coming up at that point when I was a kid, but they had a ninja Batman, and I'm like, my dad was like, "Do you want that?" And I said, "No, I don't want that." And he said, "Why do you? It looks like the costume's cool. You don't want?" I said, "No, I want that all silver, that all blue, shiny chrome Batman. This Batman doesn't have gloves. He's gonna touch something. Commissioner Gordon's gonna get his fingerprints and find out it's Bruce Wayne because he had fingerless gloves on." I'm like, "Why would Batman have fingerless gloves on? That's stupid." Like, in fact, Batman should have a whole face mask because now they'll use your hair, get your DNA.
Well, the new Batman does the future state Batman.
Yeah, he's kind of cool though. He's and then plus, well, I was gonna say something. Keep my mouth shut. Well, I'm gonna set down subs. I was gonna say Lucius Fox, his son. What's his name? Lucas Fox. His costume was fully covered because he knew damn well if he had that mask, same cowl with that black skin showing there, they'd have shot him.
Well, they did a great job with the Watchmen TV series where they rewrote that portion with Hooded Justice.
Mhm.
And I'm sure there was a lot of people who were like, "Oh, you're just doing this to add diversity." And I'm like, "But that made sense though. Like, would you, during that time frame, would you have accepted justice from a black guy? No.
Yeah.
But it was okay for a white guy to just go out and like beat the shit out of criminals. Same thing, same logic.
One day, I keep saying somebody's gonna write the comic when Batman gets brought up on charges, and it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna like
That'd be a hell of a rap sheet there.
I'm pretty sure somebody actually broke down like all the different things, like not all the individual charges, but like child endangerment, like all these, like destruction, willful destruction of property, attempted vehicular harm, like and they're just like this, even if he only got hit with like 3 of them, like he's still going away for like, 40, 50 years.
Operating, because there's no way those.
Operating a vehicle, like a vehicle that's not street legal.
Yeah,
I mean, just real simple stuff.
Those things can't be served concurrently. They have to be right after another. Like, you're gonna do your 20 years for this first, then he's gonna die in jail. Operating that damn plane without license.
No flight plan.
Yeah,
he had no flight plan.
Yeah,
where's the government at? Why don't they shoot it down?
Or like he's probably like, what is it? Like, he handcuffs people. He's not law enforcement.
Yeah, that's illegal.
So that's kidnapping. That's a capital charge. There's no statute of limitations for that. They can come after you for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Trading Cash says those dudes are not guards. They're snacks made to feel important. Are you suggesting those guards that were there for the widow's sexual enjoyment?
They're beefcakes.
Nita, are you suggesting those men were there for? Wait, is that what you're saying, Nita? Explain yourself.
I'm gonna have to rewatch that scene because, like, were they like topless and greased up? I forget.
I demand explanation. I'm sending Nita out a link because I demand an explanation. Are you suggesting that place was Oz? Basically, you guys remember Oz, the TV show on HBO?
I love that show.
I watched it. I was 10. I was 10 years old watching Oz. Like,
oh,
yeah. Imagine my mind was always messed up because I'm like, my mind's messed up because it's like, well, wait a minute, we got, especially when you watch it. Everyone on Law and Order has been on Oz, and then now anybody who's been on Orange is the New Black has been on Law and Order. So it's like it's a very weird. Yeah, she says yes, sir. She's suggesting those guards are there for the sexual pleasure of the widows.
They got to make new widows, right?
No, remember they've been sterilized.
Oh, that's right. That's why she's a monster, right?
Yeah, she's a bad person.
Yeah.
Did you already send the link, or you want me to?
I did. I sent it. This Mary Machine Gun here. Has she been do the Red Room?
No. She's a good girl.
That's not proper Catholic attire.
Yeah, sure it is. Sure it is. You don't know. Were you around in 1867 or 1767?
No, I wasn't.
Okay. Vampire variant. You were not there.
I do love the character designs too, especially her. I got a thing for her already. I like. I remember we were talking about your books, and you had said that you work pretty hard to try to remain historically accurate while at the same time having fun.
Yeah, we take history and then just kind of twist it. Like right now in this section of the book, they're hunting the beast of Gévaudan, which is the werewolf that was terrorizing France in 1767.
Werewolves no bueno.
Yeah, I know. This is a perfect book for you.
Yeah.
So I don't even remember what I was talking about now.
You're hunting the werewolves.
Okay, so yeah, I don't know. I forgot. She's hunting the werewolves.
So Max, as somebody who's not initiated into your work, like
yeah,
what part do you play in this? Are you the writer? Are you the artist? What's going on?
I'm the writer and the editor, because I'm a control freak, I guess.
And where did the concept for Machine Gun Mary Machine Gun, where did it come from?
It was just kind of fever dream. I was watching a lot of movies like nude nuns with big guns, stuff like that. Just like a lot of nunsploitation flicks.
Are you on Tubi, sir?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so Tubi's is, and I'm not being paid by Tubi, but it is a lot of fun to watch. It's got some of the worst B movies, like fantasy horror, like all kinds of stuff, completely unedited, but there's commercials in it.
That's not bad.
Yeah, but I mean, they've got, and one of the reasons I love it is because they have like Mystery Science Theater 3000 and Riff Tracks. But I actually went on there originally to watch like Samurai Cop. So there's these like really, really bad exploitation type movies that are on there. But it just made me think, if you're watching those kinds of movies, like Tubi might be your jam. So
yeah, it's definitely something I'll have to check out, because
I love the Ed Benes cover here.
Yeah, I mean, how can you not? I mean, it's Ed Benes, legendary DC man.
But you got his entire family's on the cover now.
Yep, everyone in the family.
Do you think there's some sibling rivalry with the covers?
I bet you there is. I bet you they're thinking who's going to get more sales than the other one. They're pretty competitive with each other, but it keeps them sharp.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they're all fantastic artists.
Yeah,
every single one of them.
Yeah, I kind of wish that I would have had, a sibling that was raised with me, that was drawing, so that we could have had that. I mean, my aunt could draw, and we would have like these little contests, but not nearly as competitive as it could have been. Yeah. I found that with friends, but not with like somebody in the house. That would have been great. And they all have similar styles. You can tell they were definitely influenced by each other.
Yep, and that one's Eric Blake's cover. He just finished Red Sonja 1982.
Ooh.
If you go up, the one with the purple girl behind it.
Okay.
That's Eric Blake. He just finished Red Sonja 1982 for Dynamite. And they came over and did this cover for us.
Is it hard getting everybody to get everyone to do the covers the right way? Like, I mean, the sword, make sure all your...
Not really. Fernando's got some really good references. Again, he's really, really anal about the sword being right. So people usually they hop on to it pretty quick, that the weapons have to be correct, because Fernando's really big into swords and weapons. So he's definitely got to make sure that they're accurate to what he's got envisioned in his head.
Yeah, I did that for some of my stuff. I made weapons look a particular way just so that I could keep it, just so I can try to make like this character. So one of the character sword is important. So if another artist has to get it, has to draw it, and in their book, it would look correct. So keeping that all together is important.
Yeah.
I like this cover too.
Yeah, but that's the Reloaded book. It's basically it's Mary Machine Gun #1 with relettered by SK with a little bit of dialogue added in. It's nothing that drastically changes the story, but it helps push a few points home a little bit harder.
So issue 1 is now going to be relettered now. So
well, yeah, issue 1 is relettered. It's
Okay.
completely done.
Ooh. Now issue 2, is it done?
Yeah, issue 2 is got, I think there's about 18 pages left to color and 20 pages left to letter. So it'll be done by the time this campaign's completed.
I got to get the catch-up tier because I missed the first one.
Well,
And I kept saying I'm gonna get it, and then it was over, and I was like, damn.
well,
I knew I could have messaged you, but I was like,
yeah, that's cool. We do have a catch up tier for both digital and physical. Depends on which one you want to get.
Where are we at on the
Doesn't
price on that one?
The catch up tier for the digital is $20, and then if you buy a physical copy, you get the digital copies anyways. And people are like, "Why is that?" And I'm like, "Well, actually, see, technically, with the shipping, you're saving $2 still." But I want people to have the physical book. I mean, not the digital one. I mean,
I want the.
You can't sign a digital copy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I want the. I gotta get that. So is it the $25? The physical catch up? Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
Choose a tier and you will get Mary Machine Gun Reloader of Mary Machine Gun issue 1, as well as the cover A of Mary Machine Gun issue 2 by Fern Cord. Is that the only version of that catch up tier?
Yep, that's the
Okay.
physical catch-up tier, and then you can add on whatever cover you want.
Okay.
If you want another cover, then there's the Benez Triple Threat, which is all 3 of the Benez covers. And you save $5 or something like that if you buy them all 3 together.
All of the covers, all of them. and you know, I keep waiting for you to do like Daphne Leitch has the pillows when you do a Mary Machine Gun pillow.
Oh, the waifu pillow.
We'll do a Pops Van Zant pillow. We'll do one of those. It's not gonna smell like we'll make sure it has an aroma that might be it's gonna smell like weed, ladies and gentlemen. It's gonna smell like weed. it's gonna smell like so much weed.
It's gonna smell like the marijuana.
Yeah.
Is there radio numbers yet?
Yeah, she's Nita said she's having Wi-Fi issues. Can't get on tonight. Damn it, Nita. Damn it. But you did tell us what the problem was, so appreciate it. Appreciate you listening still too. Radio numbers. Let me see here. I will pull those up. 72-100. Thank you, folks. 72-100. Australia. Thank you, fine folks.
We appreciate each and every one of you. It's China still on board.
I don't see them.
That's probably why we're not hitting 100 then.
Yeah. Now
been banned in China.
All they got to do is turn the podcast on, take a look, and they go, "Oh, shut it right off."
Now, what do you, Max? You got anybody writing you saying, "Hey, why are you have big booby girls in your comic? What's going on?" Any of that?
No, I really don't have any of that problem. I mean, I've already got my answers as to why I have big booby girls in my comic books, but I never have to deal with where are her organs, or you're sexually exploiting women in comic books. I've never had to deal with that really. So,
and she's got Lola colored hair right now. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Lola, here's a cosplay for you right here.
There you go.
Yeah, he's got to, you got to brush your hair and grab a weapon and a purple cape. You can make this happen. Pretty sure you got to boost the air. Do you have a white one?
No.
Oh, that gives you a reason to go shopping.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. White boost the air. We'll go get the purple. We'll go hit Joanne's for a purple sheet tied around your neck. And that'll be it. That'll be it. It was that's Mary Machine Gun issue 2, folks.
Yep,
Over.
it is issue 2.
On Kickstarter. I'll put the link in the chat as well as in the description of the video. It's over on Kickstarter. Buy from Max DeVille. Is Atrocity Press or Max DeVille? Is it Atrocity Press?
It's Max DeVille on the Kickstarter.
Okay. 22 days to go. You still got time, but do not dawdle.
Hey, don't dally.
Yeah.
Don't dally. You got to open up those stretch goals, get those cards, and the pilker chips that everyone liked so much last time. Those are on there again.
And how long till we get the Mary Machine Gun action figure?
Shit, man, you're talking a long time. I've been looking at some of these people crowdfunding action figures, and they're getting like $100,000, and I'm like, man, I can't even get close to that on the comic book. Ain't no one gonna buy no action figure for that.
I don't know, man. You never know. Action figures. Luke Stone has Trash Man action figures. They look like the System 7. Is that what it's called? System 7.
What?
Is it Super 7?
Super 7. Yeah,
Super
Super 7 action figures.
I just want
Super 6.
I just want regular statues things made. You know,
Like a maquette?
Yeah, like they always have for like the Women of Dynamite. And they'll have like Vampirella, and they got like it's made out of the J. Scott Campbell's did it, and they sculpted his thing for it.
Luke did some. You're familiar with Luke Stone, aren't you?
Yeah.
Luke did those busts of his character, Trash Man.
Yeah,
they were busts. They look pretty good, but
yeah,
I could see Mary Machine Gun like that.
Yeah, I could definitely. I want it. I just got to get. Fernando's working on learning 3D sculpting, and he's getting pretty good at it. He uses it to create a bunch of the references he made in.
Yeah,
that's how it is. Right?
That's how it goes.
A lot of the references he made himself. That way he could make sure that they were accurate to what he wanted them to be.
Yeah. That's I read something very funny on my screen. We are going to be from INDIE Radio. I wanted to ask you guys for Charles. I'm gonna say Charles is his name. Okay. Charles wants to know. Okay, yeah, Charles. I went to a Comic-Con and asked a creator to draw an original sketch on my tablet. They refused and would not take the commission. Why is that? Charles, I don't know. I mean, they might not have been comfortable drawing digitally. Depends on the artist. There also might be just confused about what you want to do with the picture, because I think if you draw it digitally, there might be some legal gray area there where now you can produce that image however you want because they drew it on your tablet.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe.
Well,
you get
not
the
even
NFT.
just that.
Woo,
You know how easy that is to just like you save that as like a JPEG or a PNG, and you're just like, look what I got. It's an original sketch by X, $5, and everybody gets a copy, kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think, Randy? Would you be comfortable with someone walked up to you and they hand you their drawing tablet? I got their Microsoft Surface, with audio. What is it? I don't know. With Sketchbook Pro or Clip Studio on, and say, could you draw? Could you do me an original sketch, please?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do it. I wouldn't be comfortable with that at all because it's not my tablet. One little mistake and oops.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. I just dropped it on the floor.
Yeah.
Boom.
I'm not dropping your computer, chump.
Yeah.
You're not getting me on that one.
I wouldn't do it at a show. No, I wouldn't do it.
It turned on fine before you had it. What happened?
Yeah.
There's so many possibilities that could go wrong with an electronic device, especially one that's a computer. And I don't know. I'm just like, my mind goes in 1,000 different ways, and I'm like, you don't know what's on that tablet. Like, somebody could have something that they're not supposed to have on that tablet,
And now you had it in your hand.
now you've had it, and nobody knows if you were the one who did it.
Your fingerprints are all over it. You've got CP on the thing. You're in trouble. You're in trouble.
Well, I mean, technology is just so sensitive. Like, I mean, what if it doesn't save properly and somebody's just like, well, I'm not going to pay you for it.
Yeah.
The other thing I think is that, like, digitally, I don't think people take it as seriously as like a physical copy. So I think it's going to depend on the artist, but if somebody came up to me, like, I can barely get people to like get a commission from me or buy something from me as it is. But if it was digital, I'm sure they'd try to find some other reason that it holds even less value because it's not a physical thing. So I'm either not going to pay you or I'm going to pay you way less, kind of thing. So
could you imagine if someone
Suddenly some kids offering an NFT and them selling it for millions of dollars.
and you're like, hey, that's my shit, you little mother. Let's take a look here at the Bubba Patrol. I didn't play Mary Machine Gun trailer, but I played before we lived out of here.
I don't have a video.
That's right. That's right. So I didn't play it. Okay, there we go.
No video this time around.
Let's play this one. Bubba Patrol, issue number 4. Take a look.
what if I told you that the greatest comic book in the world wasn't dark, edgy, or a deconstruction on the genre itself? What if I told you that the greatest comic book in the world didn't have to rely on 1 in 100? What if I told you that the greatest comic book in the world introduced you to superheroes whose greatest assets are their hearts and the reality that they're powered by hope? What if I told you the greatest comic book in the world wasn't produced by Marvel or DC? It doesn't have a cinematic universe, an action figure line, or an animation series. I told you the greatest comic book in the world, homegrown, independent, creator-owned, crowd-funded, supported by people like yourself. My name is John Anthony Chihak Soldetto. Let me introduce you to the greatest comic book in the world. And then it just holds there for like 10 seconds, so you don't necessarily need to.
The Bubba Patrol. There it is. Now I see cute animals. Tell me why.
Greatest comic book ever.
Why?
Mm-hmm.
There you go, right there. That's Foley, aka Mr. Whoopi, is his superhero pseudonym or code name. I've had dogs since I was a freshman in high school.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is featured. She's actually the first Bubba. Her name is Cypress. And her story was told with issue 3. These dogs have, especially the little ones, been around with me since 2008. And I've been writing and drawing comic books or self-publishing since 2006. And at one point just decided they needed their own comic book. They needed their own personalities. And I needed to give them a legacy so that people could see who they are and metaphorically see what they do for me. And they've seen me through a lot in my life, honestly. Tons and tons of stuff. Barely making it through high school.
Do you use the personalities that you've made up for them yourself? Because everyone that has a pet makes up a personality for their pet.
Absolutely. Yeah, it plays into not just their personality in the book. It helps play into their power set. So like Foley, one of his superpowers is super jump, and he died in March. He actually battled cancer for well over a year before we said goodbye to him. And he actually, this is something I haven't told a ton of people, but he went out wearing that cape. Like that was the plan. We were at home. I was holding him, and he was wearing his cape. He was a superhero all the way through to the end. And so like his power sets are super jump, super sniffer, and he has a sonic bark. Him and his sister Guri had these like high pitched shrill barks that like hurt your ears. And he would, like, when we'd give him treats, he was a small dog, like maybe 9 or 10 inches at the shoulder, but he could clear, like his head could clear like regular countertops. Like when he was jumping, he would get so excited for treats. He would clear that when he would jump. And then every time he'd go outside, man, like, especially if it had just rained or it was windy or something like that, it had to sniff everything. Like, and so I was just like, all right, so he's got the power of super sniffer and jumping. And then him and his sister, when we adopted them, my girlfriend at the time noticed that if they sat in a specific position, their tails curled towards each other like a little heart.
Oh.
So when the tips of their tails touch, they open a portal. So it's kind of like a Wonder Twins power. So their tails have to touch and they open a portal and they can go through it or other things can come through it. And you can like see through, but they don't control where the portal goes. It just opens. But it's yeah. So they each have their own like personality and power set. Definitely.
That's awesome.
So Foley is also like the really wise one. Like I also called him Foley One Kenobi. So he like in this book, he has some really great lines of dialogue where he's asking questions and he's just, he's just very inquisitive and he just says some really, really like offbeat, goofy things.
Yeah. It's cool that you have the personalities you've created for your dogs are positive ones, because the ones that I have for mine are not positive. Pixie is a hellspawn. She's a spoiled little princess, and Marv is the reincarnation of I am pretty sure every gigolo, or like he may be Ted Bundy. I'm not sure.
Wow.
He's very
charismatic.
He's charismatic. He's cute. But man, oh man, and he's it's like people are like,
He'll beat you to death with a lead pipe in your dorm room.
I believe, that's his tail. And they're quiet. They're quiet. When they were puppies, they're adorable, and then they got to be, now they're dogs. And we love
my dog. My dog was a puppy. He would always like to eat ants off the ground. And he did it so much that he like skinned his nose.
Oh, because he would rub his face on the ground. Yeah, while he was eating. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, you need to stop that. So I had to keep making him stop when he was a puppy. But he's a good dog. I mean, I have the personality I give him is he's just kind of dumb. He's just this big dumb creature.
So, like these guys. Like Foley right there, he's named after Mick Foley, the wrestler. And when we got him, we were going to name him Cactus Jack because it already had a little rat terrier teacup chihuahua named Sabu. And so wanted them to wrestle like an ECW, but when we got him, he was just so cute. We're like, can't name him Cactus Jack. So named him Foley, and it's even more perfect because like when his hair would grow out, like he got all scruffy like that. So he kind of looked like Mick Foley. And he could wrestle with the best of them. And there were times he got mad and he would snarl at you and snap at you. But that was usually when he felt really vulnerable. But I mean, 99.9% of the time he was this patient, loving dog that was just, very cuddly and warm. And I think that was kind of one of the things that, like, even though I know he had to have been hurting at the end, like he had lost like half of his body weight and everything, but he held on long enough for me to be ready to say goodbye.
Yeah.
And so I made him this promise as I said goodbye to him, that I was going to get this book done, and I was going to make sure that his story was told, and that I was going to take care of his little brother. And I'm trying to keep up with that. So that's what this is all about.
It's weird that these animals become part of your family. We had another dog named Ivy, and she was a cane corso, and I was not prepared for what that meant. I knew she'd be big. I didn't know how big she'd get, how quickly. That's an Italian Mastiff, basically, and by like month 1, her bark sounded like a full-grown dog. There was a point where I didn't want to go in the house. I'm like, there's a dog in the house. there's a large dog in our house, and it's like, whoa. I'm like, she's a puppy. She's not supposed to sound like that. Something's wrong. And I'll never forget sitting in my living room watching TV, and we let her out in the backyard. Well, we put on a lead because the backyard we had at that point did not have a closed gate. So we put on this really long lead. She could walk around the entire backyard. But I hear this large clatter. Sounds like something just like crashed into the side of the house. And I go out there. I'm like, what was that? And she is dragging my large, very heavy propane, with the propane still on it, grill around the yard because it's wrapped around the lead. And she's not breaking her stride either. She's just dragging the barbecue grill around, and I'm running after her.
She's about 5 months old too.
Yeah. I fall trying to get her. But I love that dog, and it was weird because it was Lola's dog. It was not mine, but she took a liking to me, and she ended up when we moved, she just started getting skinny, and it was a very aggressive cancer. Nothing we could do. It just went through her, and we were messed up by that because we had 3 dogs and then went down to 2, and we just haven't had the heart to try to go get another one after that. It's just been that kind of that sucked. But that's why I can appreciate this here. Now you've got a couple different tiers, but here's the art from the book. And now who's doing the art on this?
I'm doing everything except for the colors.
Okay.
I'm writing it, I'm drawing it, I'm lettering it. I do have an editor, but like I'm every step of the way, I'm kind of editing it and making changes as I need or see fit. So.
And let's see here, Super Duper Cypress.
Yeah,
I like,
Super Duper.
I like the stuff. That's cool.
Yeah. So that's actually that was a sketch cover that I did for one of my best friends from high school, who backed the campaign for issue 3. Mm-hmm. And I think his only prerequisite for it was just have it have something to do with the story. Mm-hmm. And actually there's a scene where they're training, and that's Agnew. Agnew has on the Weapon X helmet while the dogs are chasing him and they're like tackling him and stuff like that. So there's a lot of different like comedy in the book. There's a ton of Easter eggs. Those are all the back issues, which you can do as add-ons with any of the tiers. Last time I did like a back issue tier itself, but this time I decided to do them as add-ons because I was just like, well, somebody might have the first 2 issues and just need issue 3. They might just need the Bubba files or what have you. So, and then just like, more comedy. So you get Sabu is the one with the really big ears. Grayson is the one in the background where Agnew is spitting out the water. And then there's Guri and Foley in the foreground who are talking about, like, that they're convinced about him falling down, not fainting. So,
yes, he slipped. He didn't faint. So let me see here. I want to look at it now. October 2021 for these books, and
That's
Yeah.
that's the goal, but I haven't heard back from the new printer as to like what their time frame is. I've been asking them about like, well, what size do I need to send, what file format. So this week I have off at work, so I need to get back on them and find that out, because all the interior work is done. I'm waiting on some of the backers backed advertising space, so I need to get their ads. I need to form a letters page, and then do my tribute page for Foley, since he passed while I was working on this. So
Of course, you need that.
Yeah.
um,
I see there's a Vic Hollins cover, exclusive cover. Looks a little
Yeah.
more photorealistic. That's cool.
yeah, Vic she's local to Tucson, just like me. Ironically, we both went to the same college, but probably like 10 years different. She is actually, last week, her retailer incentive cover from G.I. Joe 284 came out. The painted cover of the new character, just like a headshot. She also did a retailer incentive for Godzilla Monsters and Protectors. Issue number 1, it was also a retailer, like a 1 in 10. And she did a cover for us for issue 3 as well. So I asked her, like, kind of last minute, if she would do one for Indiegogo, and she was just like, absolutely, because we have another exclusive variant, but it's through Facebook specifically, and it's a Foley cover, but it's an homage to Supergirl and the Legion of Superheroes 25 by Adam Hughes. So I actually gave Vic photo references of Foley and Grayson from their calendar photo shoot from last year, and she went with those, and she embellished it a little bit by giving Foley this like really wry, knowing smile, which is it just great. Like it turned out wonderful, just like the last piece that she did. So
Has this book been hard for you to get through?
This particular issue, yes.
Okay.
Last issue was really difficult too, but the reason the last issue was difficult was because I was finishing up the inks. I was literally on the last page of inks, and I'm doing all my interiors digitally now. And the portable hard drive I was using actually fell off a table, and it fell like 2.5 feet and broke.
Yeah.
So I lost everything. Like, I hadn't backed any of it up. I didn't understand how to use Clip Studio Cloud. Basically had to start over, and it almost broke me, like to the point where I was just like, maybe this is it. Maybe I can't do this anymore. And it was a scene from issue 2 that motivated me to come back and be like, you're strong enough. You can do this. And so I did it. And the irony of this situation was, had I finished the book on time, I had the very next week of work off. I would have colored it, lettered it, sent it off to the printers. And 2 months later, Foley was diagnosed with cancer. So there's no way I would have finished issue 4 in time. And so by having to redraw the entire book, I was able to put a specific page in where the dogs start getting their costumes. And Foley is featured as getting his cape and being dubbed Mr. Whoopi. And the amazing thing about it was, I drew it out digitally. I don't know if I'd inked it yet, but then I asked my sister, who's my editor, if her mother-in-law might be willing to make costumes for Foley and Grayson. And their grandma Marilyn, she's not technically my mother-in-law, but she contacted me and she's like, send me the designs. I need the measurements of the dogs. And I sent them out to her, and I get this package in the mail. And Foley knew it was something special. So the crazy thing is me giving him, putting the cape on him in real life played out exactly like it did in issue 3. Like, I took it out, he sniffed it, I unfolded it all the way, he looked at it, he sat up, I wrapped it around, like tied it around his neck really carefully, and he just sat there and he like puffed out his little chest and he like raised his head up, like he knew that was super significant. And like I will never forget him running around in that cape. Like I have a couple of little videos of him. I have a 3-second clip from the picture that's on the campaign where I had this fan blowing, and it's like blowing the wisps of hair on the top of his head, so he looked like a superhero, and he's got this big old smile on his face. It was a pretty wonderful process. But
Yeah.
You should add that to the campaign so
Yeah.
people can see it.
the little video,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I now show my comic book love for now Pixie. I believe Pixie is named after the X-Men character Pixie, but Marv, his name is Marvel, Marvel, and it's his whole name. And people used to ask me, "Why'd you name your dog Marvel?" And I said, "That's right, I named him after Marvel because you know, every time they put out a book every Wednesday, I look at him and say, 'You did it again, didn't you?' And yeah, and look at all these Marvel comics laying over the floor when I don't let them out in time. It's great stuff. It's great stuff. The Bubble Patrol issue 4 is on Indiegogo. You folks don't have long though. I always say that, but it's true. You got 13 days left to get over there. 16 backers. That's not a flexible goal. He's got 477. Still a lot of time to make that $1,000 goal. I think you can do it. Go over and check it out. Bubba Patrol, Bubba. One of my nicknames as a kid. The Bubba Patrol issue 4. Go check it out on Indiegogo. And we'll make sure we put that link in the chat and in the description of this video as well. You guys go check that out. We were joined by Mr. Luke Stone.
Hello.
Hey, Peter.
Luke.
Peter's in the chat. Yeah. Luke, I asked a question earlier. You weren't here, but we had, I don't know if you were listening in, we had a gentleman who said he went to a con this weekend and he asked for his art. He wanted some art from an artist.
Okay.
He paid, and the artist he had the artist a digital tablet. So here you go. And the artist said, "Oh no," gave him his money back, and his tablet said, I'm not doing the commission digitally on your tablet." Did you have an issue with that?
Well, it depends. Like if it's a software that I like or whatever. I mean, heck, I'm kind of a whore when it comes to making money. So I would probably do it. I don't think I'd have a problem with that.
You're one of the few artists on here that said okay with it. Well, there was concerns that maybe the guy was trying to set him up with, maybe a broken tab, like it was broken when it was working when I gave it to you, or is there a transference of ownership at that point? If I draw it on your tablet, do you now have the ability to recreate that art?
Well, I mean, wouldn't he already? I mean, if you take it, you can scan it. You can take original art and scan it, and you can do it that way. I mean, I normally work digital. I mean, I would probably be like, well, let me do it on my stuff because I have my digital stuff with me. So I didn't
know you brought your digital stuff with you.
I have Clip Studio on my iPad, and I've got and I've used my Apple Pencil, and so I do take that with me occasionally to larger cons where I'm going to be there longer. I would do that so that I can. If I need to whip out a commission with that way. But usually it's so I can draw my books while people are ignoring me. So.
plus like for like if I were going to do that too, like I guess Luke could probably create his own like little watermark and drop it on there as well.
Yeah.
And then that way it's like that, it's yours. And if somebody tries to reproduce it, then that little like extra sig is going to be on there.
But if he's commissioning me, I'm going to charge him for the rights to that digital piece, so he can do with whatever that digital piece he wants to. So I'm going to get paid well enough for it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's making my register ring. So I mean, I don't. It's kind of like when I do a sketch cover. I don't care what they do with a sketch cover. Just it's what they can sell it. They can they can scan it. They can take pictures. I don't really care. What I really, I care that they're enjoying the art. Number one, that's my primary focus, and then my secondary focus is that I was compensated fairly for my time, and for the artwork that I did. And so if I'm going to do a digital commission, I'm going to charge a little bit more because they're going to have the digital rights to that, and they can take it and do whatever they want with it. I actually kind of think it's cool that people are wanting digital art as originals now. I think that's kind of neat, because there for a while as a digital artist who primarily does all of my comic art digitally, people were like, "Hey, or do you have originals?" And I do have originals. I have I print them off and I do a one of one. I sign them and all that kind of stuff. But a lot of times people don't want they don't want digital. They want that like pencil on paper kind of stuff. And now that people are like, hey, with the whole introduction of NFTs and things like that, I think, I think that's kind of cool. A neat progress of kind of where things have come from.
Eric, we're not at Dread Dinosaurs. Congrats on the 1K. Wish I could have been there for it. Eric, you still may be here for it because we haven't reached 1,000 yet, but we are getting very close. We are
937.
Yeah, we are. I was going to use a expletive, but we are a colorful expletive. We are very close to getting that 1,000. And here's the thing. I mean, 1,000 for us. I'm not. Like, I'm excited for it. At the same time, like, oh man, I'm kind of dreading because I know what happens at that point. We're gonna have to be careful what we say. You know what though? The other thing is super chats become available, and super chats sometimes are more. I've talked to people who do get super chats, and they're like, the super chat is much more than the ad clicks or the ads. So yeah, super chat is cool. I make sure that Randy reads them all in the cartoon voice. He said he would.
I did.
Yeah. He said he'd read
Cartoon
them
voice.
Yeah.
For the first month. Well, anybody's super chatting, I'll read it in a cartoon voice.
How much to get you to read it in the lure voice?
A what voice?
Just a request.
Yeah, the lure voice. It all started with an invite.
It all started with an invite.
Yeah, there's I want to look at lure too. There's a new lure trailer. I don't know if you guys seen that.
Yeah, I'm not on it.
Yeah, does it feel like you got replaced, Randy? Is that what happened?
I was sad.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I wanted the sexy one too.
Well, there you go. That lets me out. Thanks.
If you would have made a sexy one.
Well, he did the male version of the
could.
sexy one. Yeah.
Yeah, it was sexy, but it was more like creepy sexy.
It was
Oh,
definitely
creepy, Randy, you're creepy. There you go.
She asked for creepy. I gave her creepy.
You know,
Yeah.
well,
Some people are into creepy sexy. So
yeah,
I
like,
mean,
what a compliment. It's like, Randy, you've got that creepy, sexy thing going on.
I could have done it as Goofy if she wanted it.
Oh boy!
It all started with an invite.
It all started with an invite.
Gosh.
Oh no, Minnie!
Here we go. Here's the second trailer for Lure. Here we go.
Have you ever wanted something so much you would do anything to get it? I do. I will go to any party, be with anyone, just to get noticed by Blair, the one who controls invites. I lust to get into lore. Do you?
Very cool. Very good stuff. Very good stuff. Aye.
You gotta play Randy just because.
Okay, here's Randy's.
You don't have to play mine.
Yeah.
Compare and contrast.
It all started with an invite. Then you wake up in a cage. You would never expect what happens next. Who lives? Who dies? Are you ready to get lured?
There we go. Are you ready to get lured? Lola's sitting at $2,320. And in demand, coming down in a couple days. August 1st. You guys will be saying goodbye to Lore August 1st. And Dread Dinosaur says, I apologize to our audience for my absence. I will return to class up the joint soon. Yeah, we hurry back here. We're drowning out here. No, Ms. Lola, your book is coming off of crowdfunding just a couple days. You got a couple days left. If you want to get this book as an adult book, there's there's going to be a Michael Watson variant print, $2,500. So You can still, there's still time to make it. 320. Still time to get that $2,500 print. There it is. Very nice. Very nice art by Michael Watson. But I'd expect nothing more from him. He's a really good artist. Lola wraparound cover, $30. Only a few of those left. There's the cover. Dave Brown is the artist on the interior and that cover.
And the colors.
And the colors. Yeah, he does the colors too. And there's some of the stretch goals. The perks that come with this. The bottle opener key. This is the key from the book. And there's a ring that the bad guy wears. There's some of the things that Lola's unlocked. The lore sticker. I just seen those stickers are here. Yeah. Stickers are in-house, in hand, ready to go.
So where's the key and the ring?
Yeah, that stuff is all here. That's please get it out the house. It's taking up room. T-shirts. You got a lure T-shirt. You got a Shocker Comics T-shirt. I'm gonna end up wearing one of those Shocker Comics T-shirts. I know it. Fetish is A to Z book, which is Lola's taking a fetish of every alphabet and she's giving it to an artist to draw. So A is for aquaphilia. Yeah. And so she's done that. And I did the cover for that one very quickly. And then I also did the cover for there's a piece from Jason Doobie that's in the fetish book. There's a piece from Daphne Lage there. And there's a cover right there for Unsolicited, where Lola's taking all of the unsolicited pictures of penises.
28 in a folder.
Yeah, 28. The first 28 she came across where she's gotten pictures from guys where they're like, hey, look at my dong. She's like, oh, I'll take that, thank you. And she's removed any identifying marks off of it and put it in this book called Unsolicited. I guarantee you someone in your family wants this book. You might not want it, but you've got a perverted aunt, uncle, cousin, sibling. It's like, yeah, give me that Unsolicited book. I'll take that. It's a great coffee book, makes a great conversation starter. Give it to the pervert in your life.
That's not
The names and distinguishing marks have been changed in order to protect the guilty.
Yeah, I'm not in the book.
I mean, for all you know, you should hope that, your personage is not in that book. So.
You hope.
There's so many that she gets. I guarantee you, she will get 3 tonight. And they come everywhere. They're on that's messed up. I should have.
They're everywhere. They're everywhere.
They're
everywhere I look, there's wieners.
Everywhere.
Well, the fact that you said they come everywhere,
which makes things rather messy. Yeah,
they're sent from everywhere. Like she can't even turn on the PlayStation 5 without a message. It's like, oh, someone sent me a message, and it's some guy with his wiener. Like, hey, Lolo, check it out. And it's like, why? I just want.
Hey, baby, you want to see my joystick?
She just wants to play some Resident Evil, and she's got to look at wieners. It's like, come on, man. Come on.
I wonder, if that's just like the new version of flashers. Like, instead of having like the trench coat and everything and looking all weirdo in the park, you just send them dick pics now because, do they really think that shit's going to work? It's like some chick's going to be like, oh my God, look at that penis.
It only has to work once. And everybody will do it.
Are you going to do your spiel for lore?
I know I don't have a spiel for lore. I do want to show everybody something that I got from the store today. And it's totally uncomic book related.
Is it large and pink?
It's multicolored.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Does it have 3 different speeds?
So the first book I got, the first Godzilla movie I ever seen was I forgot the creature he was fighting, but I remember 2 things in that movie. I remember Godzilla and the guy who helped him. And for a while, I was always thought, man, I based characters off of this character. Whenever I draw a large Sentai type character, it would always be based off of this character. And finally, they made a toy off of it. And so I bought it today, and I'm going to. I don't know if I want to take him out the box. I'm just going to display him. But there he is, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if you've ever seen this character anywhere, but Jet Jaguar has been immortalized in plastic.
Gojira.
If you haven't seen the guys in the movie with Jet Jaguar, go check it out. He was really cool. He's a robot, and then this guy sent him out to help Godzilla. He could grow, and I thought he was the coolest thing. And when I was a kid, unfortunately for me, I was like, he looks like Ultraman.
That's what I was thinking. I was
Yeah,
gonna
'cause-
say he looks close to Ultraman.
Yeah, because Ultraman, like I seen Ultraman later, and I'm like, is he related to Jet Jaguar? But he's not. But I'm not sure. I have to look up and see if Jet Jaguar ever became his own show because he kind of seemed like they were trying to do a backdoor pilot for
Yeah.
another character.
Well,
So
because he was in a Gamera movie too.
Was he?
Yeah,
Is he?
I mean he's a Toho trademark or whatever.
Property.
I see. I looked him up. It says he's in there. Someone's put him in the Ultraman wiki. But yeah, human-sized robot created by inventor Goro Ibuki for unknown reasons, having been stolen by the underground nation of Zootopia. Oh, those names. But yeah,
Zootopia.
yeah. But Jet Jaguar would have to be fucked with. He's bad. He's awesome. He whooped ass. And there's a cartoon about him too. Wow, they had a lot of Jet Jaguar stuff. I've been missing
He
out.
got referenced in South Park too, I think.
Did he?
Didn't he? Yeah, Cartman had like a Jet Jaguar figure or something like that.
I always thought he was the coolest thing. I don't know. I mean, maybe it was just me being a kid and just thinking he was, like the best ever. But he had his pointy head, and my dad used to call him Robo Klansman.
That's funny.
Yeah, there he is. Then he has a little pointy head. Oh, there he is. There he is in Godzilla. Very cool looking character. Anyway, yeah, so I show everybody that was my one treat for today. Is that I got Jet Jaguar. He's gonna sit here and watch me now. Oh, I did. Yeah, I did. I got Optimus Prime and a little yeah. I bought one that's little pocket-sized arcades. It's Ninja Turtles. It's supposed to be a keychain, and I'm like, and I tried playing it, and I'm thinking about taking it back. I think
Is it from
what?
Tiger Electronics?
I guess I'm not sure who made it. It's a little small. It's an arcade. It looks like an arcade machine. It has 4 buttons and a joystick. And so far, all I can play with is the second most useless Ninja Turtle. I don't know how to choose anyone else. I'm not sure I can. The only person I can play with is Donatello, and he's there's only one turtle more pointless than Donatello, and that's Michelangelo. So yeah, it could have been worse.
Ooh, those are fighting words, Varian.
It could have been worse.
I used to like you.
I say that because I know I have a feeling Brandon's watching. If he is, listen. Everybody knows Raphael is the best turtle. It's clear. I mean,
That's such a typical pick, though. Like,
well, it's because people, for the most part, are good at heart. People understand if they're like quality characters. I mean,
He's the rebel. You gotta always like the rebel.
yeah, Raphael is the best. I mean,
Sometimes people like the rules.
the other subtlety that, like, I mean, I started to like Michelangelo because of the nunchucks. Like, that's what drew me into him. And the nuance and subtlety to Michelangelo is that all that humor and fun is holding back all that pain and torture. And so, like, there were cut scenes from the movie, like the one punching the punching bag in the barn. That was Michelangelo.
yeah.
And then originally the one on top of the barn screaming Splinter, that was Michelangelo, and they redubbed it over with Raph.
Yeah.
And now we see, with The Last Ronin, like, he's the one who survived.
Listen. The Last Ronin is fan fiction. It just happens to be coming from Ninja Turtles creators. The Last Ronin is fan fiction. It don't. You can enjoy it if you want.
Fan
ladies and
fiction
gentlemen.
by the men who created.
That's right. That's exactly what it is. It's fan fiction. It's it's a what if. It's a what if, and
It's what if this series will ever be finished because it's coming out awfully late.
Yeah.
If it wasn't as good as it was, I would be so upset with the shipping schedule on that. It annoys me so much.
I pitched a story. Brandon, who does pitches me crazy, he's a big Ninja Turtles fan. Big Ninja Turtles fan, loves the Turtles. And we were talking the other week, and I said, dude, I have this turtle story. What I said, do you think this will be out of character for Splinter to send, like, there's a ninja or some sort, some type of ninja assassin, and he's coming into New York, and Splinter asks Raphael to go take care of it. You know, to take care of it. No, don't tell your brothers. I need you to go do the wet work. Would he do it? And Brandon was like, maybe. I mean, maybe Splinter, because I mean, Raphael is the most, you know, he's already angry. He's already, you know, it's like when Cyclops asked Wolverine to get X-Force together and go out there and take care of the problems the X-Men couldn't.
Are we talking family-friendly Ninja Turtles or like?
Well, anyway,
Well, like the original comic.
OG comic Turtles.
OG comic, yeah.
Then
Yeah,
yes.
I think you would.
Then the answer is yes.
Yeah. Sit them out there, to, you know.
No problem.
But the question is, though, I mean, we know Raphael would do that because Raphael's, you know, he's a sociopath who was born without a conscience. But I mean, would Splinter ask that of him? That seems like to be the uncharacteristic part.
Yeah.
I think Splinter will definitely ask him because he's the only one that can handle it. You know, Leonardo's got all that. I was gonna say something, but we're close to 900 subs. He's got all of that pent up, possibly. He's got all this honor and everything.
He's got pent up honor, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, he's got honor.
The one thing you don't want in a hero.
That before.
Yeah. I was gonna say pent up something, but listen, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I'm gonna go ahead and say something about Leonardo that I don't think you guys realize. And by the way, Leonardo's my second favorite turtle.
Well, he would have to be if the other two were the most useless ones.
Yeah. He and Donnie can sometimes switch places, but yeah, it's
Really?
I think Leonardo's closeted. I do.
Gosh.
I do. And he should be. And we don't explore that with the turtles. We don't explore that at all.
I love you, but sometimes you say some of the dumbest crap.
I think he is. I think, and they gotta explore that with Ninja Turtles. They gotta explore it. I think they should because they explore it with every other character. Why not the turtles? They'll make it.
That's true. They do try it with every other character.
That's right. So why not with the turtles? Why not? But if
I
anybody
could
was going
see,
to be
okay, Leo and Casey Jones. Is that what we're talking about now?
I don't know. That's why I was wondering. Like, we'd have to go with like they'd have to create another male turtle for them to run into because they're brothers.
If we were gonna get into that, then my thought would be, you know, the two angriest characters in the Ninja Turtles mythos, which are Raph and Casey Jones, who already have a bromance and have been around, you know, together for a while now. So
the Casey's with April.
Your point is well made.
That doesn't mean anything.
What do you mean? It doesn't mean? Are you suggesting that
April is his beard?
Yeah.
Oh my god! I can't believe this.
Just ask my Uncle Smokey about beards.
Listen, it's clearly Usagi and Leo. Clearly, swordplay. That's there.
Weird.
It's right there.
Oh my gosh!
See, your Schwartz is bigger than mine.
What did I agree to by coming on here today?
We just lost 3 subscribers.
I was gonna say, like, I'm trying to promote an all ages comic book, and all right.
I'm going
Is this what you were talking about? Like trying to push the limits of YouTube with your?
No, that's on my personal channel. That's my personal channel. I can. No, I was Rich Perota, who's a friend of Indie Vault. He did a stream yesterday with Lola, and he did a commission for Lola Live. And I'm like, Lola showed me the inks. Oh, not the inks, the rough. And I said, "Is he going to draw that live on air?" And she said, "Yeah, I think so." And I said, "There's genitalia there. He can't." Like if he puts that on Facebook or YouTube, they're pulling it down.
He did.
Yeah, he did. He did. It had a good run. It had a good run. It was up for maybe what, an hour and a half.
Yeah, something like that. Until he decided, you know what, I'm gonna take that down.
Oh, he took it
Did
down.
he take it down or did they do it?
No, I think he took it down.
I hope he did because they'll. You did what? How dare you, sir? How dare you draw that?
Well, it's so strange how stuff like that works. Like, because I would put stuff up on DeviantArt, and like it would get flagged. And I remember I got my account shut down, and then I was just like, whatever. And then I looked through the number of violations that I had, and it was pretty significant. But then I would like just flip through DeviantArt and like turn off the safe search, and I'm like, how are these people not shut down? Like, I mean, their stuff is way worse than mine.
Like, hot yoga is on YouTube, right? So it's like those are people doing yoga naked.
What is that all?
Hot yoga.
For DeviantArt, if you do an adult material, you have to make sure
Are you muted?
adult.
Go ahead. What'd you say?
For
I can't.
DeviantArt, if you do adult material, make sure you have it the mature audience thing on, and you'll get away with it. Because there is nudity up there, there is insertion up there, real pictures. You just got to make sure you have the adult filter on it.
Perhaps that is where I went wrong.
I was just sent pictures.
Multiple times.
Some horrible person just sent me a picture of confirming my suspicions about Leonardo. By the way, so I won't share it with the rest of you. But
Thank you.
Was it the Henson-based live action Leonardo?
no.
Okay.
That's something should be sacred. That should be one of them.
The Saban Leonardo.
Oh gosh.
Did you know that they had a Saban show of Ninja Turtles?
Oh, the movie? I mean, not the movie. The live action? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the one with Venus de Milo?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh God, I think that was on somewhere. I think it was on Hulu for a while or something like that.
Yeah.
I tried to watch it, but it was
bad.
so terrible.
I watched it when it was on for a while, and I'm like, this is not good. What are they doing? Yeah.
There's only like 1 or 2 seasons of it.
Yeah, it was rough.
Yeah, but meanwhile, like there's like quality shows that never get past, the pilot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was, that somehow that made it through. I seen, by the way, that Luke Stone, you got your bust you done now, and you packed up action figures today. Were you packing them up, or did you receive them?
I just received them. I got to paint them all now. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah,
So the painting begins.
The painting begins tomorrow. I was going to do it today, but I got pretty tied up doing some other stuff.
But I got high.
Yeah.
When does hybrids coming out, Luke?
So, well, issue 7 is shipping the next couple of weeks. So we got those books in. The Patrick, my colorist, is just about done with issue 8, and so we've got the pre-launch page up for issue 8, and I started on the art for issue 9 today. So I should have the art done in probably 3 or 4 weeks. So
I'm shooting every time I do a campaign, it's 1 issue. So once I finish issue 5, we'll launch issue 5. And then after that, I'll look at like some other options. But so the last campaign you ran was for 6 and 7, right?
Yeah, well, I did one for 6, and then I'll do 6 and 7. This one will be 6, 7, and 8, and then so each. So I do legacy numbering, but they're all kind of broken into arcs. So like I had the Trash Day arc. There's 4 issues for the Killing Field arc, and then there's 3 issues going to be for the Lifeline arc, which is the kind of the quote unquote final arc. There's gonna be more, but it's kind of wraps up the story nicely in case I decide I don't want to make any more.
Yeah, that's another question. Like I know with a lot of creators, like I know McFarlane had said that he had like a finite number of stories that he wanted to do with Spawn, and I think he did that with issue 50, but then just kept going. So like Max and Luke, like I know Luke, you just said if you don't want to do anymore, is there like a finish line in sight for your work? Like do you have the beginning, middle, and end, and like know where your story is going to end if you get to that point?
Yeah, issue 12 for me.
Okay.
There's 4 issues to this Mary Machine Gun story arc, and it'll be 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then we're gonna restart over with renumbering it. It'll be Mary Machine Gun New Order, and then we're just gonna do straight numbering the whole way through it. So we wanted to tell the first story as its own thing, and do 4 rather large books instead of 6 smaller books.
Randy, how about you? Is there an end for any of your books? Do you have? Like, do you have an end? Do you have an end in your mind for what would be the final story of?
Not the final story. I know where the characters are going. I mean, Paragon is really more like single issue stories anyway, but there's a interconnecting flow to it.
Oh,
HeroBot has a point, but it doesn't. It's really more short story work with the robot character. Calico, I know how the first arc ends, and that'll probably end about issue 6.
there we go. We lost John for a second, but he's back now. By the way, guys, I want to show you something else that was sent to me because I get all these weird things sent to me while I'm streaming live. I don't know about anybody else, but I just want to say this is a new movie. I forgot what it's called. They just showed the trailer to it. Just was released.
It's The Green Knight.
The Last Duel from Ridley Scott. Just want to say that Ben Affleck as a blonde is something I'll never unsee.
That's kind of weird, yeah.
With a bowl cut.
Yeah. He looks like a.
I don't know which is worse, the bowl cut or the blonde.
Yeah, I don't know.
He looks like a pissed off MMA fighter.
It's a bold choice.
The other picture, he looks constipated. But I mean,
Like he's having a conversation with an urn.
Yeah. He might
So
be. We're gonna
it's-
see that movie and know that's exactly what he's gonna be doing.
This is like alternate universe Batman, and in the urn is Martha.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it could be.
Why did you say that
Martha.
name?
So it's got the movie. It seems like it's gonna be pretty good. I think did I see Adam Driver, Matt Damon, Ben Affleck. It's a lot of people in there. Let's see here. Oh, no, let's see. Adam Driver, Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Jodie Comer. Yeah, it's a Ridley Scott movie. It's the ultimate story of betrayal and vengeance.
So Batman.
So Batman, yeah. It's everyone has that haircut in this film. Apparently, everyone. I don't get it. Everyone has this.
It's
Yeah.
probably.
they went
I
to
wonder
hair
if
and
they're
makeup, and
supposed
they just stuck a ball
Yeah.
on everyone's head and just kind of went around it with clippers.
Oh, yeah, I think all the hairstyles might be on strike or something. Here's a Matt Damon.
That's a mullet.
Well, he's kind of got a mullet. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a mullet.
It's like the scissors broke when they got to the back.
Yeah.
It's like,
Look
oh,
at all
dang it.
Look
those.
at it. She's
Business
rocking
in
the
the front.
Leia
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah. It's just business in the front right now.
Now watch, we're gonna. And he's giving this guy. He's giving that guy 5. That's not how they shake hands medievally. He's like, "What up, though?" That's what up, though. I know what up, though. He's probably got a bag of weed behind him. He's gonna give him. You good?
Is this the sequel to Brothers Grimm?
It could be. Never mind, Luke. I'm not gonna say it. Luke's like, don't you say it. I'll have to. Luke will. He'll bless the chat after everyone leaves. He keeps telling me, Varian, I'm not Catholic. I can't do this. Like, just take the terrible and do it. Just do it. Burn sage or something. He won't do it. He says we're damned. We're all done. Where can we find these fine folks at? We're going to start with John. John, where can we be found at, sir?
I can be found pretty much anywhere. I'm J.A. Chihawk Soltero on Twitter. You can find my work, the Bubba Patrol, any updates about the Bubba Patrol right here on Facebook, or we're not right here on Facebook, but on Facebook, Instagram, and then I'm on Facebook as well. And as long as we've got, handful of friends in common, I'll probably approve your friendship. So
Cool. Mr. Max.
You can find me at pretty much on any social media at Mary Machine Gun, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I don't have like a LinkedIn. So
Don't
if I
have
do,
LinkedIn?
if I do, it's just sitting there untended. But yeah, you can
Mine's
get
probably
the,
out of date too. So
you can get me on any of those, or you can go to our web store at atrocitypress.com and pick up any of our back issues or some of our t-shirt designs.
Cool.
And be sure to drop by Kickstarter and back Mary Machine Gun issue number 2, which is about a backer or two away from opening up our first stretch goal of the Adri Tavares bookmark.
Cool. Luke Stone.
Yes, you can go over to lukestonestudios.com. That's Luke Stone Studios with an S on the end because it's plural.com. You can find all of my links to basically everything that I'm on, whether it be Instagram, Twitter, the YouTube, and also I have some links for the campaigns that I run up there. So you can do that. Join our mailing list so you can find out more about what's going on. And poke around in there. You'll find some nice Easter eggs, some photography that I used to do, and some music as well. There's a store up there where we've got some really fun things that you can get a hold of. And we'll be here over the course of the next few weeks, including more of the books and back issues of stuff we're going to start selling through the website too. So instead of just through crowdfunding stuff. So go check it out, lukestonestudios.com.
Excellent. Lola.
I'm everywhere. So the best way to track me down is go to Linktree indie_princess, and you can find all my links there. But if you want to catch me live, you can catch me live tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Geekgasm. I got 2 really great guests coming up. It's going to be a great show. And then again on Saturday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Backer Shots.
Which is a good time.
It's a good time for everybody.
Yeah.
Except for
And
those that don't drink.
Peter says here's to hitting 1,000. He
Thank
says
you.
I'm 105 away one day.
You'll get there. You'll get it. It took us a very long time. And
We're still not there yet, folks.
Yeah.
So if you haven't subscribed to us over on YouTube, go over there and hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell for notifications.
we gonna see what we're at if we've moved up any.
Right, 937 last time I looked.
938 right now. I'm looking at.
Indie Space Vault.
Yeah.
That's what
Yep.
you're looking for when you search the YouTubes.
And that's indie spelled correctly, INDIE.
Indie Volt.
None of this weird spelling stuff going on there.
None
Just
of this weird
Indianapolis
spellings.
Vault.
not Indianapolis and not some other odd
Yeah.
things.
Oh yeah, Varian. Wanted to let you know. I let Randy know. I picked up some of them Gemini mailers.
Oh, thank you.
Using the code. So, and I let somebody else know who I know ships out a lot of comic books too.
Oh
So-
yeah, let them know. Spread the code around there, folks.
Absolutely.
Vote 10 over on that. Definitely use that code. Where is it? There it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I use that.
Pull it
to
up.
save-
I just used it today.
Yeah, for 10% discount on your Gemini mailers. Vote 10.
Heck yeah.
Last time I ordered Gemini mailers, you guys didn't have this code.
Mm-mm.
No. And we're the only ones that have it. We're the only ones that Gemini is given a discount with. So
10%.
Nice.
So you vote
10%.
can use that and save yourself 10%. Randy saved some money today, and
I did.
yeah, I hope that you guys are all, hey, listen, every dollar helps,
Agree.
especially with the price of paper going up.
Yeah. 3 to 5 days, we'll be getting these out to everybody. Hey,
Cool.
We
Indie Revolt books. Now that I'm done coloring the comic I was working on, we can get to moving on fulfillment.
Randy, it's your turn anyway. Where can people find you?
You
Can
can
they get
find
a copy
me-
of Revolt if they can't get it now?
No, you
Oh,
cannot.
no.
Not yet. We are going to have copies of the direct market version of Revolt available here probably next week through Liberty Distribution, right? You're
Correct.
muted.
Correct. That's correct.
Along with a remastered version of Hybrids #1 by
Yes.
Luke Stone. Will be there in a the first issue of the Only Death Can Save Us from Russ Leach.
Some good stuff.
Will
Good
also
stuff.
be there, as well as Hero Bot Zero #1.
Randy, let me ask, because I gotta know. Let's say some fan says, I'm gonna see you guys at Grand Rapids Comic Con. I really want that Revolt book. Are there no extra copies, Randy?
Not until fulfillment is done.
So there's a chance. You're saying there's a chance.
I overprinted on purpose because there's always going to be damages and problems. So,
Right.
Yeah.
So there's a chance you might be able to get one copy.
There's a chance you'll be able to pick that up at the Grand Rapids Con. Yeah.
But after that, there's no.
Oh no! Once they're gone, they're gone. I don't plan on reprinting. We're not going to offer another campaign or offer it as a hook on another campaign or anything. Once it's done, it's done. Cool. But we're doing that direct market version of Revolt as well, so that'll have a lot of stuff, a lot of new stuff. A couple of stories that were in this volume will be spread throughout the first 10 issues or so.
Okay.
But we're trying to get as much new material in there as possible.
And what's your LinkedIn?
Oh, LinkedIn for Arrow Comics 4.0. You can find us over on Instagram, the Twitter, and Facebook, especially under Arrow Comics 4.0. If you want more information on stuff on the work that we're doing, we've got a bunch of great stuff coming up. A few more titles, more than what I just mentioned. A couple new ones starting up in September that are going to be a lot of fun. So, looking forward to that.
And I forgot to last minute plug my campaign.
Go ahead.
So on the Indiegogo, I lost track of how many days it was. Apparently it's 13 days left. Mm-hmm. Our goal is $1,000, and there's a lot of really great tiers to choose from, including catch-up add-ons for cover price. And it's a book about my dogs as superheroes with a lot of heart and emotion. And some of the best dialogue you've ever read, because it's just hilarious stuff half the time. So
sorry. I gotta take some NyQuil before I go to bed. I've been holding in coughs the entire show.
It's not good.
I'm gonna NyQuil up.
We want to remind everybody about the Indie Volt Awards coming up September 18th.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, September 18th at 8 o'clock. Is it? No, 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. We'll be broadcasting that on Indie Volt, right?
Yep.
As many other places as we can get to broadcast that.
I don't care. I fell outside the purview of the thing. The rules barely just got me. I barely missed cutoff or something. So.
Yeah, you got next year. Yeah, get on in there.
It will be an annual event.
Yeah, we're gonna move around every year too. So this year is in our backyard, but next year it will be somewhere else, which will make planning and all that other stuff that much more tedious and it'll upset me.
Road trip.
Yeah.
Yep.
And of course, find me on Facebook, Instagram, Varian Grant, KYD_V on Twitter. Check out indievolt.com. Look up IndieVolt on social media. LEDG.us, helping you get your independent comic books in stores and comic book stores and beyond. LEDG.us. Sign up. Also, again, Randy mentioned Indie Vote Awards, and I want to let everybody know something special I'm going to be doing tomorrow. I'm going to be doing a private Liberty Entertainment Distribution group in the town hall. Well, not even really a town hall, but it's a basic meet and greet. If you guys, it's going to be off. It's not going to be on. Not going to be streaming anything live. It's going to be. I'm going to open up a room. I'm going to put the chat out there, the chat link. If anybody wants to come in and talk about Liberty, what Liberty can do for you, I'm going to have the chat open for about an hour or two, and I'm just going to sit there and wait for people to come in and pop in. And if you got any questions about Liberty, I'd be happy to answer them. That's how that's going to work. It'll be great. It's like a Zoom, like an open Zoom call. It won't be broadcast anywhere, so it'll all be private. But I'll put the link out there for people to join.
Sounds cool.
Yeah, and hope to see you all there. I think we're going to start that about 10 o'clock my time, and then I'll go until about I might do 2 sessions of it tomorrow, so that people have an opportunity to get in there and ask any questions they might have, sign up questions, anything you want to ask. I'm gonna be there to answer those questions for you. But yeah, that's it. We'll see you back here tomorrow night at 9 p.m. for Geekgasm with the Indie Princess. Randy and I will return Thursday morning at 9 a.m. Randy, Daphne, Lage, and myself for Indie Breakfast Buzz. And then on Saturday, we got Pictures Be Crazy. And then Randy had Sunday Funnies on Saturday, followed by special issues later in the
Saturday?
day. I'm sorry, Sunday.
Sunday funnies. Sunday morning,
Sunday Funnies
9
on
a.m.
Saturday.
Eastern
Sunday
Standard
Funnies on
Time.
Saturday.
Yep.
Yeah.
We talk about the more whimsical and lighthearted side of comics, or at least we try to put the fun back in funny books.
Yeah. And then I come in a couple hours later and bring everything back down with drama and shady behavior in the comic industry on Indie Vote special issues every Sunday at 1 p.m. So thank you guys for watching. We appreciate you on our drive, the road to 1,000. We're gonna get there very soon. Make sure, guys, to join in Indie Vote Radio. Sitting at 92,107. Join, listen in, Indie Vote Radio. Download on Google Play. If you have a Amazon device, Alexa to play it for you. And also, you can download it, or if you have iOS, stream our TuneIn app. We'll bring you right to Indie Vote Radio. Also, send in your questions to IndieVoteLive@IndieVote.com. Include Indie Vote Live in the subject, and please keep those emails 90 words or less. And then Indie Vote TV on Roku. Get it now. Get in there. Indie Vote, it's free. Sign up immediately. Get yourself in there. All right, guys. That's it. That's pretty much it. We're going to get out of here. Everyone have a great night. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, everybody. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Take us out. Here we go.
Remember to leave this industry in a better shape than what you found it.
Yeah. Don't piss on it,
I
please.
said it for you. Yeah.
Here we go.
Yay! Think about what you've accomplished.
How dare you?
How can you close me up? On what ground?
I'm shocked to find that gambling is going on in here.